This conference will now be recorded.
We'll call this meeting to order 9:02. Roll call.
Mike Solori.
Here.
Seth Hildreth.
Here.
Kristen Sanders.
Here.
Wes Bonheim. Absent. Touch machine.
Here.
Please join in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So we'll move on to public comment. Is there any public comment about anything that is not on the agenda for today? Sister Reed.
Good morning. Arden Reed. I have a few things to talk about. Try not to do my past minutes, but I want to talk about Scapoa and also my own public comment. So with Scapoa, we did a trash pickup on the Saturday. We picked up 9 bags of trash. It was the first time that we had CERT was involved with traffic control. Made it really comfortable, super comfortable. So we really nailed a whole bunch of it. My legs were super sore the next day. I blame that on the golf afterwards. And we're also drafting a letter in response to no funding for our roads on the measure that was just passed. So there's a few things on that. In 1997, this place was designated an area to allow short-term rentals. So it's been a tourist destination for a long, long time. And for them to say that they were going to, with the support that we had for the community, to pass that and not to get zero funding, that's going to be something that we're going to be addressing. Okay, then on another note on my own public comment is that the kiosk for golf was inoperable for 4th of July weekend, the following weekend. And to see, I witnessed 36 people on that during my time on golfing. I think that would be enough money to support mowing and maintenance on that golf course for 2 weeks. So we have to make this work. I think it's disrespectful that we have a Parks and Recreation Committee that is also, those people are also on other volunteer organizations. And they're taking their time. Time is money. And if you guys don't even know that the kiosk is bad, set somebody up down there. I mean, with 36 people, that's $700. I mean, we mow twice a week at the most on that. So the math is, I'm correct on that. Probably 3 days worth of labor that we're missing on that. So it's disrespectful and shameful, and it needs to be done. You know, I built that kiosk in my own time. I paid a labor out of my pocket to do that for the golf course. And it's disrespectful to me. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I would like to announce, in case you haven't heard yet, that the Soham Health Mobile Medical Unit will be here tomorrow from 10 a.m. till 3:30. And the only way they'll come back is if we get enough people. So you need to go to the doctor tomorrow. Good day.
A little infomercial there. Thank you.
I want them back.
Okay, so that's it for public comment. Everybody hear me? Hello? That's all right. Anyway, you can hear me, both of you. We're moving on to open the public hearing. So I will announce the opening of the public hearing on to consider amendments to ordinance number 69, administrative rate schedule for miscellaneous fees and general rules, second reading. This portion here is for the public to make comments on. After the public makes their comments on this public hearing, then I will request a motion to close the hearing. And things have changed, that's why I'm kind of reiterating this. And then once the hearing's closed, then the board can discuss any items on that. So we are open for business. Anyone in the public want to discuss the amendments to ordinance number 69? One online. Harlan? Thank you.
I'm not sure what the ordinance is.
Oh, well. Chris, you wanna touch on this one real quick?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and.
It is.
A little
Yeah,
backstory on.
The board first reviewed this ordinance at last month's meeting, which mainly regarded the removal of renter deposits. This ordinance, the only change. This aligns with multiple other district ordinances also under review for second reading at this meeting. And since then, staff have also decided to add a backflow prevention device testing fee to this ordinance. Purpose of this fee is to fund staff time, training, and materials associated with the state-required annual testing of backflow prevention devices. The proposed fee is $90 per year per device. This fee has been calculated based on average staff time, training, and cost of materials while providing annual service to customer backflow prevention devices. Alternatively, a customer can seek a certified backflow prevention device tester approved by the district to perform the required service per ordinance number 65. This fee will only affect property owners who have a backflow prevention device on their water utility connection, which currently amounts to a mix of 27 residential, commercial, and interdepartmental customers. Property owners are responsible for the cost of installation, inspections, and maintenance of their backflow prevention devices. A backflow prevention device testing fee is standard practice for most utilities. For perspective, the city of Santa Rosa charges a range of $50 to $150. The city of Eureka charges $125 per test per year, and the city of Fortuna charges an $8.58 per month charge, which amounts to $102.96 per year. There are numerous private companies that also provide this service, ranging from $75 to $300 per device. This fee is subject to public hearing and notice requirements according to the California Government Code. And under California law, those affected by the proposed fee may protest its imposition. The district cannot adopt the fee if a majority protest exists. Financial impact: there is a potential recovery of staff time, training, and cost of materials for required annual service of customer backflow prevention devices, estimated at $2,070 per year. Recommendation is to approve the amendments to ordinance number 69. Any questions?
Now we have to close it. Oh, now it's.
We're gonna go to the public, so one more shot. Public comment on this topic before I close it from public hearing? What he just read.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Well, we're adding a fee to the, to this ordinance for backflow prevention device testing. It's something that water operators do once a year. There's only, like I said, 27 backflow preventers out there right now out of 630 connections. Doesn't affect too many
We're
people.
at 27.
They're spread throughout the sewer district. So
And so it's spread out enough for, those are enough to like test the whole community?
this only affects customer. Like, it's kind of like having a pressure reducing valve on your connection. It only affects your residents.
It's for sewer.
It's for sewer.
Isn't it sewer?
No, it's a water device. It prevents backflow prevention. It prevents if there's a problem in the water main, it prevents backflow, back siphonage from the residents into the water main. So it's a protection device for our utility. Certain homes may have sewer lift station pumps, for instance, if they're below grade, and so we require backflow prevention devices on their homes. Businesses, a lot of the hotels have backflow prevention devices. Not very many residences. Only ones that have sewer lift stations, sewer pumps.
All
So
right, thank you.
typically we've never charged for it, and most other districts do. This is how this came into play.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Okay. All right. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Trustee Machine,
Aye.
Mike Solari,
Aye.
Wes Bonnheim, absent. Kristen Sanders,
Aye.
Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
All right, now the board can discuss and or take action. Anyone got any questions? Clear?
No, I just think it's a safety standard, you
Mhm.
know, so I think that it's not, and again, we don't need to be paying for it, but this is a safety standard so that we don't contaminate our water source. So to me, it's almost a no-brainer.
And it is already in our policy that the cost of the check is on the client. However, we just haven't followed through with that, and the district's been absorbing that cost. So I think this is a good
Is
move.
there a motion that's required to adopt this? There is, okay. All right, well then, let's see if we can't get a motion to adopt this amendment on ordinance number 69.
I make a motion that we approve amendments to ordinance 69.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Wes Bonnheim, absent. Trustee Machine,
Aye.
Mike Solari,
Aye.
Kristen Sanders,
Aye.
Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
All right. All right. Now that we're done with the public hearing, aren't we? Motion carries. Yes. We will move on to the consent calendar. Is there anything that the other board members would like pulled from the consent calendar to discuss after adoption of it? No? That's good. Okay. You go to public comment on this one? We do, right? Is there any public comment on the minutes from June 18th or the bills?
The bill?
We have to pull it? I thought it was only board members.
Yeah, the road patch repairs, $4,750. Where was that done and why isn't it county?
I could answer that. That was one charge for the patch done on Shelter Cove Road at Landis Road, and that was resulted from a water main break location right there. So typically, we have a few spots out in the cove where we dig into the road for utility connections or water main breaks, hydrant lateral breaks, that kind of thing, and then we end up having to go and fix that because it is our infrastructure that caused the damage. And in this case, it was a major water main break right there. And it's a major thoroughfare that we wanted to have fixed for holiday weekend.
So I'd say that's a 5 by 30 feet patch, 150 square foot for $4,750. I think that's pretty high.
Thank you. All right. Anyone got any questions about the minutes or bills? Let's get a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent calendar as is.
I'll second that motion.
Mike Solari,
Aye.
Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
Trustee Machine,
Aye.
Wes Bonnheim, absent. Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Motion carries. And there's nothing for consent calendar. Next, we're moving on to correspondence and discussion items. Chris, take it away.
I have no message from Lieutenant Josh McCall for Humboldt County correspondence. I can relay one bit of news. Yesterday, I corresponded with the county road painter crew, county roads striping crew out here. They were out here in Shelter Cove yesterday, and I'm trying to work with them. And they seem like it's a promising proposition to help remark the lines on the airstrip. So I'll be working with them next week and meet with us. And there'll be a proposition here.
We're gonna shut down the airport.
Yes, exactly. It'll take a day.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's some Humboldt County correspondence I can relay. Other than that, no word from the lieutenants.
Okay. And then Parks and Rec Committee report.
I'll do that one.
Okay.
Laura Paul's not here today. At the June 26th, 2025 Parks and Rec Committee, it's pretty basic. For that last meeting, we broke the group down into subcommittees, pretty much going after the different parts of the strategic plan, having people work in pairs or 2 to 3 people to do research and look at district properties to see how we could use them in our recreation potentially. And so part of the inspiration for that too is to have the committee members coming to the meetings with reports, and so that we can make more progress. And so, yeah, it's pretty basic. The last meeting was pretty basic, but that's what we did. Oh, the next meeting is July 24th at 10 a.m. a week from today.
Outstanding. Questions?
Jerry Jackson has his hand raised online. Jerry, would you like to say something?
Yes, I would. Just a question, Chris, on the painting of the runway. Are we redoing the numbers to be correct? Adding that additional 10 degrees. And secondly, can we get the segmented circle around the windsock also painted so it's visible during that time?
We're going to probably have to hold off on the numbers just because that involves, I asked him about that, that involves grinding and a little bit more work. And the windsock concrete was painted actually, I think a week or 2 ago. So that has been done by our staff. But and we're just talking about the lines on the airstrip right now, not the numbers. We'll have to work on those numbers.
Thank you.
So most of you don't know the true north moves every so many decades. So it has moved a few degrees. So we do need to change the numbers, which is the degree for approach on the runway. But that requires FAA. It requires a lot of county involvement, things like that. So there's a lot to it. That's what that was about. Okay, let's move on to update on ballot measure to increase the special utilities improvement and operations tax. Chris?
Yeah, so staff has been working diligently on a proposal for a ballot measure to increase the special utilities improvement and operations tax. The board held the first reading for a new district ordinance number 76 at last month's regular meeting, detailing the additional tax amount of $60 on top of the existing $80 tax per year per parcel, for a total of $140. This amount equals less than a third of inflation since 1981, when voters first approved the original tax proposal. For perspective, $80 in 1981 equals more than $270 today due to inflation. Staff also chose this amount to add which will add a significant increase to the special tax revenue for essential services, while also remaining low enough for potential voter approval. After last month's board meeting, staff drafted a resolution which is required to place the proposal on the June 2nd, 2026 statewide ballot. Staff also drafted a public notice to print in a local newspaper and mail to all property owners of Shelter Cove, which is also a requirement for a property tax increase ballot measure proposal. Due to the provision of 45 days public notice before the public hearing, staff decided to postpone the public hearing to the September 18th regular board meeting. This will give staff more time to complete the daunting mailing aspect of the notice, as roughly 4,000 flyers will have to be tri-folded and double taped for delivery to every property owner in Shelter Cove. Staff are looking into purchasing a paper folding machine to expedite this process possibly, which can also be used for monthly billing purposes. The deadline for the noticing is Monday, August 4th, but because of newspaper publishing deadlines, staff will have to send this notice out the preceding week, last week of this month. And yeah, I'll have more info as we go. So review, or the recommendation is to review the update on the ballot measure to increase the special utilities improvement and operations tax. Are there any questions?
Questions from the board?
I'm just curious how much the paper folding machine cost.
I think I heard in the neighborhood of $600, $700.
I would say with that, it is something that will come in handy for the future with the billing. Right now, we by hand fold all 600 bills every month. So, and that takes a lot of staff time. And with this particular endeavor, like last time we had to do something like this with the fire tax, it took days and I think it was the CERT team that volunteered to help do it. So we had a full house of people coming in and folding, and it was like this chain. However, in this situation, we're not really able to use the CERT staff because it's not for the fire department. This is for the utility aspect of it. So we would be looking for volunteers, and we'll still have to do that with the taping, but not the folding and the sticking on the addresses. And it was a huge endeavor the last time we did this. So, in my opinion, the folding machine is going to be well worth the money just for that, and then also being able to use it on a monthly basis for the future.
Monthly, and also later on in the board packet, there will also be abatement letters that will be sent out to property owners, so that use it for that too.
You're not asking us to approve the purchase of a.
Oh, no.
Just letting us know.
Yeah. There's a dollar amount you can spend without board approval.
Yeah. And then in regards to ordinance 76, I have asked that we keep this as a discussion until we hold the town hall or the public hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that the next meeting, Chris, you'll have the breakdown on how much revenue we will be potentially receiving, and also then the alternate as far as if it doesn't pass, what that's going to be looking like for utility bills and for the people who live here full time.
Well, that's mistaken, didn't Kristen, you already give us the numbers of how much it'll generate? 200 plus on the added revenue?
It was, 220,000.
Yeah, so I think we
Yeah.
provided that.
Yeah, I would like that included into the board packets until we get there, so it's just fresh in everybody's minds with each meeting. So that's what I've asked for.
I'll have it'll be a recurring discussion item, I guess, just for one more board meeting before the public hearing. And I'll have more data like that next time.
Public hearing?
Yes.
Save this.
Okay, so board has no more questions on the ballot measure increase? No? Okay. Public have any comments on any of these discussion items? No? All right, let's move on. Board member staff reports. If I could go first, that would be wonderful. I'd like to report there were 19 certs available on the 4th of July. And this 4th of July, I gotta say, was the best 4th of July we've had. There was no fires. There was no disrespectful, foul word people. There was nothing. It was a wonderful, well-maintained 4th of July. The people that were here were kind. They were nice. They weren't crazy. They weren't nothing. It was the best 4th of July I've seen in my 6 years. So it was very nice to see. And then I also attended the superintendent's meeting for the first time to show board support, and that went rather well. And what else did I do? Oh, the agenda setting meeting. And that's about all I did. So I'll go to my right.
So for last month, I met with superintendents of each of the departments, basically just to do a check-in to see how operations were going, seeing if they were getting everything that they needed. And overall, it seems like things are going pretty smoothly. I think the consensus is that we do have easily 10 plus years of deferred maintenance costs of maintenance. And so that is something that staff is working hard to begin catching up on that. And, it definitely, the cost of operations has gotten more expensive.
Yeah.
So I think for the future, we really need to be on it as far as dealing with issues as they arise and not kicking the can down the road.
Got it.
And then
It's not
also,
working.
it's not working. And also, I attended the CERT Watch Fire Patrol, and yes, it was a pretty quiet,
It was nice, huh?
respectful 4th of July here in the Cove, so that was really nice. I attended the Parks and Rec Committee agenda setting meeting, and then attended the Parks and Rec Committee.
Outstanding.
What I got.
Tristan?
Yeah, I also thought the 4th of July was amazing here this week. And last week it was really amazing to hear the fireworks like stop at 11.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, I couldn't hear them. I was amazed.
The night before.
Yeah, and none the night after.
Right.
It was really cool. So I think, yeah, yay, culture is changing. Also, I started my sexual harassment and ethics training, and what else did I do? Talk to, community members. I was trying to get the word out about the special district tax to just like friends and stuff. Yeah, because a lot of my friends own their houses, so I was just kind of giving them a heads up, and that was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had some communication with different community members, and one of the biggest ones, and really came to pioneers, believe it or not, was that a lot of people feel that the clubhouse, because of the mold issue, and it may have their attendance ratio being hindered because they won't go into the clubhouse, which is kind of just concerning because if there is an issue, we're setting up a big liability for RID. So Chris, I would ask from you to we budgeted money to see and let's get some feedback on that community center. And I know that we, back to like Tasha, we can't let it just sit there and disintegrate. And so we have a small window to know how we want to proceed forward before the rain and everything else starts coming. So it'd be nice to be informed what we're gonna do. Also had a conversation with Scarf about they're considering seriously about doing a 4th of July event with booths and kind of making it another type of event so that we can change that culture.
Outstanding.
So I think it was very productive.
Good. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, it would be nice if we got a lot of our nonprofits to assist in that and make it some type of event. I think it would be wonderful, and it could start to change the culture around here. We're never going to stop the fireworks off the beach, but if we can at least give people other options, maybe they'll enjoy taking their family out to a little function that has booths and, food trucks or whatever down at the lighthouse or something like that. I don't know. I mean, just something. Something is better than doing nothing at all. Absolutely. Any other?
Yeah, I just have one thing. In regards to the situation with the community clubhouse, I did attend the Pioneer meeting this month, and they are discussing potentially holding fundraisers to help the district deal with certain issues. And one of those is to deal with the leaky roof and that south wall. So hopefully we'll be able to get in there and find out where we're at with that south wall, because it is pretty, it's important.
I do a lot of events down there, and I'm really sensitive to mold, and I don't feel it at all. I don't sneeze or nothing when I'm in there, which is really
Yeah,
weird.
we do have some other chemically or other people who are arsons. I mean, I've heard that for quite a few years now. So
Yeah.
we're going on at least 10 plus years of deferred maintenance.
I'm gonna say it's a test, so it's easy to,
Okay.
it's not expensive, it's a test. But if there is an issue, we wanna combat it so we don't have liabilities to rid.
Is that something you could do, Travis?
When I was down south, I interned for the Orange County Environmental Water Quality Lab, and I ran samples at my own apartment, inside closet. It was around $100 back in 2010 for the sample, and it came back negative or pretty bad. There's certain ones that are really bad for us, and then there's some that is more like a bread mold that looks more offensive than what it
I think for public safety, we should do that immediately. I really do.
And
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, and it's not just for the black mold or the real hazardous molds, but it's also for rot, for structural soundness.
Yeah.
Like I find like that's really important too, especially since we've had that roof leaking for quite a while now, and that south wall. So, yeah, so just, I mean, as far as definitely we want to get, like, if there's any toxic mold, but the rot structurally is also a hazard.
Yeah.
So making sure that gets addressed.
In the internship, we were close with the clinical lab, so the water department did prepare that like micro labs and who we deal with, so it'd be just environmental, separate sample.
Perfect.
So I guess my question is, can we do it in-house, and is that the way to do it?
I think we would just be taking a sample of it, putting it in a 10 mil or 250 mil bottle, however they like it. We can probably get a sample bottle from them.
Okay, and then you'll
And we
do,
just mail it off to them.
and you'll do more than one sample in different areas of the community center, right?
However they would want to go about it.
Okay.
And I ran it through the clinical lab, and my director at the time did it for me. So it's just a couple phone calls and we can figure it out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So let's at least get that ball rolling immediately for public safety. All right, let me put my balls on here. All right, so we're done here. Chris, you're up.
All right, so I can provide the general manager's activities for the month of June. We all know Telegraph Creek Road opened up earlier in the month. Already staff also utilized the newly installed pipeline to successfully pump the zoo. So everything's done there. The metal bridge is first it was called temporary, but they're kind of saying permanent temporary. So it is the road. Also worked with county code enforcement unit regarding some citizen complaints on, in particular, the west end of Otter Lane. There's some code violations of property there. Corresponded with new district general counsel Ryan Plotz on policy updates. Created a new district ordinance, number 76, and resolution for the Special Utilities Improvement and Operations Tax. Corresponded with county elections office regarding timelines and requirements on that. Finalized the budget with staff and the board. Conducted annual performance evaluation meetings with staff. Coordinated with Jerry Jackson on applying to the FAA for possible grant funding to install an AWAS-3 weather monitoring system for our airstrip. We do have a new update on that. Jerry just informed me this week that the FAA has declined to assist us on that. However, I am working with another organization, Reach Air Medical and pilots associations, and they're interested in installing cameras, weather monitoring cameras, possibly on the clubhouse. We're not sure yet. They're going to come do a site visit. That they'll be able to pay for the monitoring or the maintenance on the cameras, but we'll have to help with the upfront costs. But they will also help it. So collaboration on the upfront costs. They're estimating a potential upfront cost of around $4,000 for the equipment. And the Pilots Association and Reach will help with that initial cost, so we won't have to fork all of it up. And then we'll have cameras, online web cameras for the airstrip.
Definitely help the community, especially when it comes to the medical evac.
Yeah. Reviewed the draft audit report for 2022 from our CPA, Vector and Company. I'm hoping that'll be a action item for the board's review next month. In addition, maybe to other fiscal years. Corresponded with technical assistance provider Moonshot Missions regarding grant applications to replace 4 of the district's water tanks. Worked on securing further assistance for engineering analyses on the tanks, which is a prerequisite for grant applications. In particular, the Tier 1 seismic requirement. These are engineering reports that the grantors need to have completed for the grant. Met online with staff and representatives from Cal Poly Humboldt Engineering Department. We discussed capstone projects in Shelter Cove this fall. They say they're going to be able to do 3 feasibility studies, including 1 on energy and 2 on water and/or wastewater. And they'll be doing a site visit either later this month or next month. The projects we'll be doing projects in the fall. Met with Mike Bruno to discuss modified plans for the grant-funded sports court project. Submitted the revised plans to the county building department for further review, and started work on a request for proposal, which I hope to issue on that as soon as I get word back from the county on the plan review, either later this month or next month. So we'll know a real dollar figure to this plan, hopefully real soon. That completes my report.
Okay. And everybody else?
I've got a question. Chris, when you set this plan out for review, are you gonna, for bid, are you gonna also submit the other one for review? I would love to have a cost analysis between the original and this one.
I mean, I guess if it doesn't cost the district anything.
It doesn't cost the district anything, so I think that it would be nice to compare the two and see what we're actually saving.
Submit it to the county?
No, for out the bid.
Oh.
And one thing I plan to do with this RFP is divide up, like you can see the 2 courts and divide up the parts of the project so we can see what we can eliminate things if we can't afford it. So like the second court, for instance, it turns out to be, well, this is making the project over budget, we're gonna cut that out, just do the bigger court or other elements of the project like fencing or that we might have to figure out how to do otherwise.
Well, I'm gonna say,
That's awesome.
like I spoke before, whether it be the sports court or the community clubhouse, we need a comprehensive plan before we proceed with either one. It doesn't matter the phase of which one comes first, but we need a comprehensive plan of how we're gonna achieve this. And that's why it's important to find out what's going on with the clubhouse before we throw a bunch of money down that rabbit hole too.
I mean, I disagree. We already are moving forward with the sports court, and the clubhouse is a totally different thing, and we don't know how we're going to attack that one. I guess I don't see the point on sending out an RFP for what the SHN plans. Is that what you're talking about?
I think that it doesn't cost us anything to send it out to bid, so it'd be a great comparison. And I think that something that Nick brought up last time was that about the clubhouse, maybe we could get additional funding because it's an emergency shelter. Well, maybe we can tie in the grant from the sports court and the clubhouse together and get a bigger and better grant. So I don't want to limit ourselves where we can maybe achieve the big enchilada rather than trying to piecemeal it.
Yeah, we're not really piecemealing though. We're just moving on with what the community wants. They want the sports court. We have the grant. When does it have to be satisfied by?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was extended 3 years.
Yeah, which is nice, but it's already taken so many years. Anyways, I guess I was just like, we are moving on with that. There are plenty of other areas that we can build a clubhouse. We could do one down by the water department, like behind like Seaview. So, I mean, I think I agree. It would be nice if we have a comprehensive plan, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, there's so many things. I wouldn't call it piecemealing. I think it's just we're moving on with certain things, and that's it. I guess I just don't understand the point of RFP for some other plans and then the ones that we actually have that are already approved by the county. I guess the other ones were approved by the county though too, huh?
Mm-hmm. And,
all right. Well, I mean, if it's not gonna,
it'll show how much we're saving. I mean, it's a great comparison, and it doesn't cost you anything. We already
Okay.
got the plans done.
I mean, I
And
guess
then,
if it's,
and then as far as a major plan, back to my background's in urban planning. So that's how you do a strategic, comprehensive plan in an urban planning standpoint, so that you do know all the obstacles and what you're gonna see is before you start implementing these. So I think that the best part though, Chris, is thank you, we're going forward.
There is a hand online too, if we're ready.
Do we want to go through this and then take public comment after
At
we
the
get
end?
through the?
Yeah.
We'll wait for you.
Yeah,
All right, so we're gonna move on to Jessica.
All right, for the month of June in the administration department, we got the approved budget put into our accounting software. We've been working with the accountant and the auditor to get those audits up to date. It's, a lot of back and forth between all of them. We now have the accountant and the auditor communicating together to close out and audit the fiscal year 21-22. Hopefully that will be done soon. And the other years, we've begun working with the accountant for the closeout process, not the audit process. And we've supplied, I believe, all the information for 22-23, and now we're working on 23-24. So it just takes all of them getting caught up with that. It's a slow process, but we've been putting a lot of time and effort into it. I guess I already mentioned the Home House being here tomorrow in the parking lot at the clubhouse. That required some coordination with Home Health, including an MOU. We also renewed our agreement with CAL FIRE for the use of the Ill River Conservation Cruise. The cost of the crew has nearly doubled to a cost of $4.11 per day. We ordered and renewed the annual passes for the pilots, and so far 2 of these annual passes have been sold. So we have 2 people on that list. We worked on compiling a list of homes in the district with water hookups installed prior to 1986 for inspection by the water department to rule out the presence of lead service lines, and manually input the data for each customer account into inventory form templates, and send out notification letters to customers whose homes have unknown water service line materials. These homes will be inspected by the RAD's water department personnel. We also completed the integrated resource planning progress report to WAPA. Basically, WAPA is looking for RAD to predict electrical usage for the year. To do this, an evaluation of the previous year's usage is completed. Currently, the district has been trending downward for the past few years in electrical consumption. We installed a new credit card machine at the front office. It's a newer model that utilizes Ethernet instead of a phone line, and customers can now tap it or swipe their cards to pay their bill.
Jessica, can I ask you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, what did that cost you?
What?
That installed the new credit card machine?
Well, we didn't have a choice. The service would be discontinued
No,
on
I
that
did
machine, but the machine cost $400.
Okay, so I think that the money we lost on the golf course on 4th of July would easily be the same machine, correct?
The machine that we have is a small in-house. It's not weatherproof.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, we actually signed up all of the RAD properties that have any sort of infrastructure to the grant, because I guess we have to sign ourselves up to the grant we have. So that was a total of 26 properties. And once they move on to the non-structure parcels, then we will get those into the system as well. And I worked with the general manager for things for the tax measure, for the new policies, the policy updates, the budget, public notices. And we have the new ambulance added to our insurance, and we got new proof of insurance for all of our vehicles. So those were distributed to put into district vehicles. And that's in addition to all the regular district activities.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Jessica, when signing up all so it's just the red properties. We're not talking about unpermitted structures.
No, this is for the USDA Wildfire Resiliency Grant.
Right.
So we received 2 reports back for our sewer department and for the community center itself.
Jeff, did you have a question down there?
I do, but let.
No, you go
first. Go
first.
ahead. So can you find out if they make a waterproof machine like the one you have here?
I've done some research because that machine will be unsupported, I believe, by the end of August as well due to its age. And those machines are very expensive. I'm not sure that that would be the best use of how to do it. We're looking at various options, including the QR code, which would require Wi-Fi assistance for anybody else who doesn't have, or who doesn't, who would have phone service there in order to pay with a card. But that does eliminate people who want to stick a card in the machine. So I don't know. I'm looking for options out there, but I think like a standing machine similar to that kiosk was right around. They want you to go through a whole demo. We talked with them for a long time. It's hard with the sales, but I think that I got it. I think the most cost effective one I found was around $8,000.
It is a part of our recreational infrastructure, and unfortunately with that particular model, we've had issues pretty much from the beginning. So definitely it's time to replace it. And, but of course, looking at our budget, we don't really have an extra 8,000. So I do appreciate you guys trying to figure out what the most cost effective, but we do need it to include the card as well. A QR card may not cut it for catching everyone. So.
And if we lost $700 or $750 based on Arlen's computations, in one weekend, a 3-day weekend, it adds up. That's just one weekend, I would think that.
That was one day.
That was one day.
Okay, so I'm sorry, one day. So multiply that by 3, so you're talking probably $2,500. I don't know. It just seems like, yes, it's expensive, but it also like we have a choice. I like playing free golf.
I would like to add a side note with that machine. It does require a lot of merchant fees that go into it. So on average, we've only taken in $300 a month on that machine, and over 150 go to fees for the bank. That's on the credit card machine.
So like Square, something isn't worth doing? Like,
We need Wi-Fi.
well, I mean, isn't there Wi-Fi at the community center? I know there's Wi-Fi at the brewery. I mean, couldn't you just have like
Wi-Fi
a
would have to
sign?
be expanded over there.
I mean, I don't know how much that costs, but it seems like that's kind of worth it. Or just have a sign, hey, can you walk across the street and Wi-Fi? I mean, or I don't know, is that like a hardship? Yeah, because I remember it was there. Well, we might just have to get Wi-Fi. I mean,
But I mean, there's also the other option. On a big weekend, we should be marshaling the course anyway. And if the marshal has his own little, like in the restaurant where you slide it in, you could easily, again, it just seems like a lot of money to leave it on the table.
And I mean, that person could almost just run across the street to the clubhouse with the card.
Right?
Like here, we'll offer a service.
I mean,
Yeah, we do need to be a little bit more proactive, I think, with that sort of thing, and just like provide a service. We can't just keep
So maybe that's something that the golf.
At least on the big
the golf
weekends.
association and the people that we have MOUs with, because using staff, that's going to be, we're paying overtime.
Oh yeah,
We're
we
going to
wouldn't
be
use
paying,
staff.
so it would definitely have to be a volunteer. Marshalling.
But like for staff to like coordinate with someone at least on big weekends, like, hey, da 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 da. And that's also was going to be my comment is I didn't even know that the pilot passes were available yet. So that's one thing I do think RID needs to work on is getting information out. Like I didn't even know these were available to buy, and I don't know where they're available to buy or how. So, I mean, that would be I don't know how.
Anybody who lands a plane and walks over to the fee thing is on the envelope that you can purchase an annual pass in the contact office.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not flying, so. But I'm just saying, like, it would be nice. I'm just saying, like, there always is kind of this disconnect. Like, how do we get this information out to the public? It'd be nice to just see one up at the community or at the upper store or, by the library. Like, we haven't flown in a while, but I was just like, oh, it's here. And maybe put it in the newsletter too. It is. Okay, cool.
All right.
I just want to add one thing too. We are actively pursuing alternatives for the golf course kiosk machine. researching that. And also, it requires a phone line for the credit card transactions. So in addition to the bank transaction fees, we're paying almost almost $700 a year just for the phone line. And we wouldn't need that with Wi-Fi, which we can probably get a new router or a Wi-Fi extender or something to make the Wi-Fi extend from the clubhouse to the kiosk.
I just, I'm just brainstorming, but maybe we reach out to a Chipo's or the Swell and give them, little vouchers, and they can pay their credit card. They make a percentage, obviously, but then we know that, yeah, you go to Swell, go to Chipo's, get your card, you can pay. Just an idea, not saying that that's viable, but it's an idea.
That's interesting.
All right. Travis, you're up, buddy.
So for wastewater and water, we had no violations for the month of June. Wastewater treatment department, we calibrated all flow meters. The dispressed tank float was replaced. The east oxidation ditch on Oxidage 2 gearbox assembly was pulled off and sent to Industrial Electric for Arcata for a rebuild. We found that it was unrebuildable and have ordered a new part today, new gearbox. For water department, as Chris said, the Telegraph Creek Bridge pipe was placed back into service, and now we can pump to the north distribution system. We did total trihalomethanes and haloacetic acid sampling, which is basically chlorine disinfection byproduct that when you use chlorine and if there's organics peak or whatever, they can create a disinfectant byproduct. We're all at safe levels and everything's all good. It's just natural occurring compound that happens when you have a disinfectant byproduct. We also avoid that by cycling our tanks and moving water, keeping them 75% filled. That helps a lot with the disinfectant byproducts build up. We had electrical issues at dig site, and the electrical crew, John, was able to fix, troubleshoot. There was a USA North 811 on Forest that we marked out for water and sewer laterals. We had other issues at the booster pump at the water plant. The electrical crew found loose wires and were able to troubleshoot it, rewire it. Pressure transducer at Omar tank was replaced. The sedimentation pond drain cleaned and filled. And then the shade balls were implemented and put back into place, which cuts down our chlorine usage at the water treatment plant for approximately about 50%.
Good.
Seafoam water leak was found and repaired with a lateral. Gears placed back in the sedimentation pond, which I mentioned. Consumer confidential report was completed, uploaded to the RAD website, and placed at multiple bulletin boards, center, general store. And all water infrastructure in the zoo was completed for fire fences.
Good. Questions? No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What's the life expectancy on those funds that you put in the water? How many more years we have left?
There, for the floats, it's a hit or miss. I don't know the exact answer to that. It's just a mechanical fail. They seem to last years and then it just stops.
Are they expensive to replace?
It's like a couple $100 for a float, right?
Are you talking about those rhomboid, the black plastic?
Oh,
spheres.
I didn't understand. I thought you were talking about the float and the oxygen.
No.
No. Yeah, they're expensive, but the life expectancy, I'm not sure. I'd have to look that one up for you.
think maybe Frank informed us before. Maybe,
5 years.
yeah, maybe we have 5 years left. I think that was it.
Yeah, so, it'd be nice to know the cost of those floats versus the cost of solar panels, so we don't have to worry about floats.
I'll find that answer for you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Johnny?
Alright, so last month we did our yearly pole clearing, transformers, all the underground and overhead. So took up a lot of our time last month. There was an outage at Dick Tank, there was a blown fuse, and then a few days later, the fuse was out again. Turns out there's a bad transformer there, so we ended up replacing the whole bank. We replaced the damaged secondary pedestal that one of the contractors ran over on steel cord. I believe they were billed for that. Line final build, and then it was awaiting delivery to Dixon, which it's there, so we're gonna go down there Monday and go through it. And then there was an unplanned outage in the zoo, and an employee went to Reading to obtain their commercial driver's
Okay. Board have any questions before we go to public comment? Oh, no, fire. Are you gonna do fire, Chris?
Yeah, I can kind of do a little brief synopsis of fire and Parks and Rec, I guess. Parks and Rec says there was a meeting with Wendy Ball, who's our Parks and Rec committee liaison for the golf course, at the hole 1 tee off, about punching the tee off, and I know they've moved some sand there, so the project volunteers will help out with. Looks like a single tire was replaced on a Dodge Dually due to sidewall leak. Fire extinguisher company was here for biannual servicing. Windsock markers were repainted, and the employee development plans were completed. On the fire side, I know we all know the new ambulance is in service, so that's a big deal, years in the making. And right now, I can just say that Nick and Jack, I'm not sure who else in the fire department, are on a strike team, went to the Shasta National Forest along with some other local Southern Humboldt volunteer departments for mutual aid response there, which helps the district financially too. So, good service provided and good training for the staff. I know they were pleased with the 4th of July too, so I think they only had some medical aids.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of flight outs, air medevacs, so important for the Reach Air Helicopter Company to help us out with cameras. So I think on one of those flights, they were, I remember hearing, having issues coming in because of the fog. So they definitely need that heads up.
Yeah. All right. Board questions before we go to public comment? No? Anybody? No? Public comment on any of those reports, operational status? No? All right.
The person who had their hand up online is now not online. So.
Okay. All right, then we can move on to action items. Action item number, Mark 2. Action item number 1 is going to be a lot of motions. There's 11 motions that's going to be required to get through just action item number 1. So it's going to make for a lot of motions and roll calls.
Can I interrupt you for just a second?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to make, so the PG&E distribution charge, that's a once a year charge, right? And that's every month.
Every month.
That is a monthly charge.
Oh, wow, I never really noticed it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so action item number 1, consider modifications to district personnel policy, second reading. Chris, do you want to itemize these and we'll go through for vote? We will go to public comment after each one individually.
Okay, so the board first reviewed the changes to these policies at the last board meeting. Just to remind you, these policies were first modified by our GSRMA legal support. Staff worked with GSRMA to further refine them. Then they were all sent to the IBEW union for review. I worked with Mark, representative of IBEW, to further modify a couple of them, and then they were presented to the board. Since the last presentation, the only major change to any of these policies is the addition of Exhibit C, organizational chart, and policy number 2010. Staff collaborated to produce this chart, which represents the recommended optimum staffing level for the district. The board previously reviewed a version of this chart as a discussion item in July last year and as an action item at numerous board meetings in 2023 without taking any action. So this has been long in the making, a lot of back and forth collaboration to produce that organization.
Right.
Yeah, that is the only change.
Okay, good.
In these policies.
Should be pretty simple then.
Recommendation is to approve modifications to each district policy.
Okay, so we can start off with agenda item is 2010, pertaining to employees in the confidential unit, second reading. Board, have any questions on that modification?
Just wanting to make sure all of this has been union approved.
Yes. It was
Okay, the board doesn't have anything on this. Public comment. Anybody got any public comments pertaining to employees in the confidential unit? Modification to our policies? No? Okay, let's get a motion going. We got a lot to do.
I'll make a motion to approve amendments and modifications to policy 2010.
Second?
I will second that motion.
Roll call.
Mike Solori.
Aye.
Jeff Hilder.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Beth Bonheim, absent. Tricia Boucher.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, moving on to District Policy 2190, drug and alcohol abuse. We didn't make any modifications to that. That's the same as the last time.
Yeah, that's the same. Last time there was discussion on that one section about the 2190.32 section.
Mm-hmm.
And there were no changes since the first meeting.
Okay. Board have any questions? Desha?
No.
No? Let's get a motion going then.
Do you want to comment?
Oh, public comment. I'm sorry. Public comment. No?
That was in talking about marijuana.
Yeah.
Is that what that last discussion?
It's drug and alcohol abuse, just a general policy for our employees. An amendment. We had our legal team go through it, right, and make some adjustments to keep us, with the times compliant. And thank you. And those were the modifications. I'm good with it. Board doesn't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve policy. What is it? Amendment? 2190.
I second that motion.
Roll call.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Beth Bonheim, absent. Tricia Boucher.
Aye.
Jeff Hilder.
Aye.
Mike Solori.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, we're gonna move on to policy 2210, anti-harassment policy. Everyone should read it. Board have any questions about this one? There were no changes. The second reading. Okay, public comment? No harassment comments? No?
Yeah, just an add, just for clarification, that policy was really gone over by GSRMA. They changed a lot, updated a lot. And for the next one, you'll be talking about affirmative action that got incorporated into this policy. So it's part of it. So eliminated the affirmative action policy.
Right. Get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve policy 2210, harassment, discrimination, and retention prevention policy.
Second?
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Trustee Machine.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
Mike Solori.
Aye.
And Wes Bonheim, absent.
Motion carries. Next one is policy 2220, affirmative action, second reading. Now, were there changes to that?
Short, there were no changes.
No changes. Okay, good. Board questions?
To eliminate the policy.
Yeah, it's eliminated.
Oh, it is?
Because
Reading
it's
the policy.
being, yeah, everything's
It's
being
going
addressed
into the affirmative action policy.
into the anti-harassment.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, actually, the comment was from GSRMA. It says California law prohibits affirmative action programs in public employment. Legal support recommends eliminating this policy, being consistent with Proposition 209 and referring to the revised policy number 2210, the previous anti-harassment policy,
Okay,
which
so,
covers anti-discrimination, discrimination.
so to delete affirmative action policy. Okay, any board questions on this? No? Public comment? No? All right, motion to remove 2220.
I'll make a motion to remove policy 2220, affirmative action.
And I will second that motion.
Roll call.
Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
Mike Solori.
Aye.
Wes Bonheim, absent. Trustee Machine.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks, Mom. All right, moving on to 2230, lactation accommodation policy, second reading.
There's very minor edits on this policy by GSRMA. No changes. since last week.
We do have a lactation area for employees.
And they-
And we have to have refrigerators. I know this because I did this for the state of California. Yeah. When it becomes necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, any board questions, comments?
Yeah, I think I apologize. I think with discussions we had, and Nick or the fire department's not here to clarify this, but I thought we established there was going to be a place in that back room,
It's written in the policy.
and we have that refrigeration right there,
Yeah.
so we're covered.
Okay. Kristen?
Oh, no comments.
No? No? You're not interested in lactation? Okay, let's go to public comment then. Any public comment? No? All right, let's get a motion going then.
I'll make a motion to approve policy 2230, lactation accommodation policy.
And I will second that motion.
Roll call.
Wes Bonheim, absent. Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Trustee Machine.
Aye.
Mike Solori.
Aye.
Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
Motion carried. Moving on, policy 2255, disability separation medical policy. Chris?
Yeah, this was a very short policy that predated the original policy number 2010. And so what I did was took these modifications that GSRMA made and just added this whole paragraph into policy number 2010, where employee insurance and medical benefits are detailed in Exhibit B. So I incorporated this whole revised policy into 2010, which now makes this policy nil. We don't need to have this policy anymore. Separate policy, so it can be eliminated.
Okay. Board questions, comments? No? Public comment? No public comment. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to remove policy 2255, disability separation medical policy.
And I will second that motion.
Roll call.
Mike Solori.
Aye.
Trustee Machine. Aye. Jeff Hildreth.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Wes Bonheim, absent.
Motion carries. Moving on. Last one, correct?
Yeah,
2260, disciplinary action.
yeah, this policy also predates policy 2010, and all of this verbiage is in policy number 2010. So also recommending to eliminate this policy since it's already incorporated.
And this has union approval?
Yes.
Thank you. Board, any questions, comments? Nope. Public comment? No, roll call. I'm sorry. Motion.
I'll make a motion to remove policy 2260 on the disciplinary action.
And I will second that motion.
Roll call.
Judge Machine,
Aye.
Mike Solori,
Aye.
Wes Bonheim, absent, Jeff Eldred,
Aye.
Tristan Sanders,
Aye.
Motion carries. We made it. So let's move on to action item number 2. Consider update to policy 3067, utility capacity charge payment assistance program.
So this is the second reading of this policy. The board first reviewed it at last month's regular meeting. This policy allows for a prospective customer to pay their respective utility capacity charges interest-free over the course of 3 years with a nominal application fee. Staff added a 10% fee to the total capacity charge payment plan, which can be prorated into the monthly payments to recoup the administrative costs incurred while tracking these plans, and to incentivize the prospective customer to pay in full upfront. This fee would translate to an additional $1,500 if the customer is connecting all 3 utilities, or roughly $42 more per month on average on the 3-year payment plan. The revised policy with track changes enabled is attached. I also have our District General Counsel, Ryan Fox, review this policy, approve it. Since the last meeting, I did, after the discussion on the customer, whether they pay up front early or pay their payment plan off early, I added in a line about the administrative fee herein imposed shall be paid in full, even if approved individuals and or corporations pay off their plan early. So just to clarify that, the fee becomes part of the payment plan.
No changes from the first reading.
Well, that is
Just
one
that.
change.
Just that change.
That we added, even if the plan is paid off early, the fee is still part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll make a motion to, oh, sorry.
Yeah, so if you guys have nothing, public comment.
So by putting that together like that, there is no incentive to pay it off early. You're eliminating their incentive to pay it off by putting the fee.
I'm not sure if I understand.
So you're $42 per month for the 3 years equals to $1,500. So that's automatically in there.
Yes.
So by doing that and they pay it off, that fee is in there.
Yes.
So by putting that in there, there is no incentive for them to pay in full earlier than their 3-year plan.
if they paid all of the funds, then there would be no 10% fee. So the incentive is to pay the entire connection fee all.
Yeah, so let's say they've been paying for a year, and then they can, all of a sudden they can pay it all off and not have to pay the other 2 for the other 2 years. They still have to pay the 10% fee on the total.
So, if I may, I understand what you're saying, Arlen. But from the district's point of view, we're giving them the opportunity to make payments on the hookups for over a certain amount of time. So that's still district staff and time, and plus the district is bearing those costs.
Yeah.
So regardless if they want to pay it off just for their own conscience, then that's why they would do it. In my opinion, with us lowering the rates to such a low rate at this hookup rates at this point, honestly, that's the least they can do is pay that 10%.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Earl. Anyone else, public comment? All right, let's get this puppy rolling.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve changes to policy number 3067.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Jeff Eldred,
Aye.
Tristan Sanders,
Aye.
Mike Solori,
Aye.
Wes Bonheim, absent, Tasha Bushin.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item number 3, consider amendments to the ARS and utility connection ordinances, second reading.
Okay, so, just like policy updates, these numerous ordinances. Recent regulatory changes require a necessary update to numerous ordinances, especially ordinance number 65, the ordinance for water connections and fees. One of the more significant changes includes removing references to Title 17 of the California Code of Regulations. Title 17 no longer governs backflow prevention requirements, which was stipulated in the existing ordinance. So we've updated that with the new regulatory requirements on cross connection control. Other changes made in ordinance number 65 are identical to verbiage in the ordinances for sewer and electrical utility connections, 67 and 70 respectively. And also the administrative rate schedule for miscellaneous fees, ordinance 69, which we just covered, must also be updated to align with these changes, particularly the removal of renter deposits, the requirement for renter deposits. No longer requiring renter deposits is warranted, considering that ultimately the owner is responsible for utility charges on their property as stated in the ordinances. An owner can require a deposit from the renter to ensure proper utility payment. Thus, the district does not need to charge an additional deposit to the owner's renter. This isn't a necessary and we found unpopular requirement that adds staff time and administrative costs to the district. Also, ordinance number 72, connection fees, and ordinance number 73, which is the administrative rate schedule for water and sewer services, must also be updated to align with the updated standard water meter size requirement, which we changed in ordinance number 65. We went from 3/4 by 5/8 to 3/4 by 3/4. And that's mentioned in all those other ordinances, so we had to change those too. The revised ordinances with track changes enabled are attached. Recommendation is to approve the changes to the ARS and utility connection ordinances. Are there any questions?
No, we're just gonna go one by one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nothing? Public comment?
On ordinance number 65.
I'm against taking off the renter deposit. You know that as being a homeowner, you used to go first and last month's rent, and then they termed that illegal. So you have to do they made the wording different. So when you're adding on that, we're gonna, as a homeowner, put on another deposit charge for utilities, I think is another difficult thing that you're putting on a homeowner.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
You're gonna comment on that?
It's not really, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's not really on a district responsibility to be taking on homeowners' responsibilities as far as what they require to rent out their homes. I was on the fence as well, Arlen, because I do understand that once, like if a renter has left the home and has left a utility bill for the homeowner to take care of, that deposit has come in handy on on lowering the amount that the homeowner has to pay. However, with district time and staff and keeping that money separated and keeping track of that, and with all the different renters we have here, it is a significant amount of staff time. And really, it should be up to the homeowner to include that deposit. Like if you want to do a extra deposit for utilities on the homeowner's end, that really is their responsibility. So I do understand where you're coming from. And again, I was on the fence at first and has working for the district, and seeing that all in action and how it plays out in the administration part of it, it is a lot more staff time, and that ultimately we're all paying for that.
I have to disagree that all you're doing is taking a deposit, and that deposit is one-time action. Every time that you're doing utilities, it changes.
Mhm.
So that is, the staff is doing more work doing that than just taking a one-time check and putting in, and putting an earmark that this is their deposit.
Right.
It's a one-time for up to 5, 10 years, how long they're
But
staying
it's
there.
a
So
one-time, right, but it's, and that would be great if it was like one renter. But when we're dealing with lots of renters throughout the cove and then people coming and going, I just feel like it really is on the homeowner to require a utilities deposit if you feel that that's warranted. I don't think it's up to the district to have to keep track of that. That's my personal opinion, where I'm at this point.
Chris, how many does it apply? How many properties or property owners are affected by this?
I really don't know off the top of my head. I would have to check in with Tony, on that number. But I would like to add that the homeowner does receive a duplicate copy of every billing every month, so they are aware of the renter's energy consumption and where their bills stand.
Might be in the neighborhood of 60, maybe 50 to 60, because based on the amount of money.
So Jessica, we're doing these one at a time, right?
Yes.
And I do understand, I understand where you're coming from, Marlon. I just think that it's really not that's in the district's responsibility to be.
I'd really like to know what the staff did for the 60 people, so this is previous time, so now we're gonna change that. So they have been doing it, so there should be some kind of knowledge of how much time it did take. So
It does
even if
take,
you do
yeah.
put a fee on that if you're a renter to do this one-time deposit, I would rather have pay the staff to do the deposit, the one-time.
Well, then it's not a deposit
That is.
if we're going to use it to pay staff.
And there's more involved than
Yeah.
just that. There's people who have left that we can't find or get a hold of to give them their deposit back. And
And
if
then we
we're
have a
stuck with
second
this money, we have to send it off to the state. And there's other parts to it
Sucks
too.
when you get stuck with money.
It does. Well, no, we're not allowed to use it.
Right.
So
It has to be in a separate
But you're
account.
still
and all that.
making it, it's still in a bank and could be making interest rate on for you.
There's no interest on that bank account.
yeah, there's no, because it's,
See, I could fix all this stuff. I put it in
if that was legal,
in another spot to make.
yeah, if that was legal, we would be doing that. But it's not. I mean, we have to keep that separate. That was my understanding. It's not to be used to grow
Make money
interest.
off of
Yeah,
the
we're not
money.
off of a deposit that we may potentially have to be returning at some point.
I think the safety net is what Chris just said, that the homeowners get a copy of their energy consumption every month, so they know that they're gonna get stiff with the bill.
Yeah, so I know that I'm gonna get stiffed on the last time.
So then you can also contact your tenants and make sure that they're like, say, hey, we see that you're on
Yeah,
the shut off
you're
notice.
so honest that you're gonna screw me over the first time, but if I make a phone call, that it's gonna work out great.
It's not on the district. It's not the district's responsibility to make sure that the tenants are paying their bills.
And I can't believe that you can't put money on a deposit into a bank that makes interest.
Yeah, well, that's public agency. So
So how many banks do you have to search for to find a place where you don't get interest rate from the bank?
we're limited to the amount of bank. I mean, we have the banks that we do business with. We're not going to go into another like county to be finding banks that we could. And I think it's also about what that deposit represents and how we have to hold it. It's not funds that we can have in the bank that we can be getting interest paid on it. It's just not. So we're a public agency at that point. So that's part of those rules. I don't have it
So
in front of
you're saying
me.
that
So if you want me
Every
to,
time I pay taxes to the government, they're not making interest on it.
This isn't taxes.
That's the same thing as paying my stuff and paying it on January.
yeah, but
They
this
wait
isn't that.
April, when are they gonna give you the money back?
Mhm. This isn't that.
It sure seems like it to me.
Well, I understand that. And again, like I said, I was on the fence as well, but really it's not the district's responsibility to be making sure that
Did you go to council because I would really like to know, I'd like to hear that from a council person saying that you can't make interest rate off the money that you have.
I'm sure they know.
I mean, I guess
Thank you,
my
Marla.
reason, yeah, I was gonna say my reason for not wanting the deposits is I thought it was just unfairly targeting renters. And that's
totally
like,
different than
yeah,
saying that you can't make money off.
yeah, that was just my point of view. And I thought it was kind of leftover from the whole cannabis thing. I don't know when it was, but yeah.
Let's move on.
I mean, unless we have more public,
I
but
can add for perspective, some cities I know of will charge a deposit for all accounts, regardless of renter or owner. And then I know, like, for instance, in Fortuna, there was $100 deposit to open your account. And then after a year, it gets automatically credited to your account and it goes away. We did not
I
opt
didn't
for
receive
that.
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that still wouldn't happen. That still wouldn't help the homeowner in the end whenever renter moves out. So
So we're starting off with ordinance number 65.
I will make a motion to approve, what am I? I am going to make a motion to approve ordinance number 65, water system connections.
second,
Roll call.
Kristen Sanders,
Aye.
Beth Bonheim, absent. Jessica Shane.
Aye.
Mike Lori.
Aye.
Jeff Eldred.
Nay.
Motion carries. Moving on, ordinance number 67, sewer system connections, second reading.
Yeah, I can just synopsize, the only change really here is the removal for the requirement of renter deposits, some cleaned up language basically. And there was one little bit more significant change I found where the minimum pH used to be, it was 5.5, and I moved it up to 6.0, which is what our limit is on our NPS permit requirement, the wastewater treatment plant. And that's the ordinance with our, yeah, there it is on page 10. Any water or waste having a pH value lower than, it used to be 5.5, I changed it to 6.0, higher than 9. It's not allowed.
Good. Any other board questions on this one?
No.
No? Public comment? No? Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 67, sewer system connections.
I will second it.
Roll call.
Gwen Bonheim, absent. Jessica Shane.
Aye.
Mike Lori.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Jeff Eldred.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next one, ordinance number 70, electrical system connections.
All right, same thing here, language cleaned up, removal of renter deposits, and then also removed outdated line extension payback plans, which ended last year. There was a 20-year stipulation from 2004, I believe. All the red line language in the policy. No longer applicable.
Okay. Board comments, questions?
And my comment is just thank you, Chris, for bringing all these current. Look at some of these dates and it's like, wow, 2009, 2017. So thank you.
No? Motion? Oh, no,
Oh.
public comment. Public comment? No? All right, motion time.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 70 with changes, electrical system connections.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mike Lori.
Aye.
Jeff Eldred.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Beth Bonheim, absent. Jessica Shane.
Motion carries. Ordinance number 72, hookup fees, second reading. Chris, you got any?
Yeah, I know we just reviewed and updated this ordinance back in May after 2 readings, and that was the one where we lowered the capacity charges. However, now that we've updated ordinance 65 with the standard water meter size, I had to come back to this one and change that on this ordinance also. That's really the only change made on this ordinance. It's changing the standard water meter size.
Board, questions, comments?
Yeah, by changing the standard size, it's just so that we have uniformity. Is that
Yes.
why we're doing it? Okay.
Good. Board, questions, comments? No? Gotcha.
Just a comment that with our lowering of our hookup rates to $5,000, we had family visiting this last week, and they're contractors in other places in California, and they were really surprised we went that low. It was where they're at. It's $38,000 for just a water hookup, and over $23,000 for sewer, and more for electrical. So I hope this works as far as bringing in more people, but I am very nervous about it. It's already been done, so we're not voting on that. We're just voting on the little what's in red. So I'll be voting yes on the what's in red. But
Okay.
that's all I have.
Public comment, Arlen?
I just have one thing about the change in location of meters. The meters move for any reason, which is prohibited at the customer's expense. That's if there's a reason that is RIDs, I think it should be RIDs. It shouldn't be put on the customers. Meters moved for any reason will be relocated at the customer's expense. I would agree with that.
Okay, thank you.
I think I do understand what he's talking about. I think maybe could we add language if it's not if RID is not responsible for that, or like if say RID, but on the same hand, I don't know.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm reconsidering.
I think that you can put language in there that if it's not RID's fault, right, then it's the customer's. You know, again, you're taking the ambiguity out of it.
Does that, or what do you think?
Where was that?
What page?
18 on meters. C, which is page 7.
Sorry, which ordinance?
70, right?
72.
What page?
65. 65. Page 7. 18 meters.
I don't know.
Oh,
Change the location.
I see it.
What or
Here, I'll show you.
which ordinance? So it's on all of the ordinances. Moved for any reasons.
Yeah, I don't know about the any reasons.
So then we'd have to go back through and the other ordinances and change them all. I'm wondering, I think,
Well, I don't think so. We could do it with modifications.
How often are meters moved? How often are meters moved?
Huh?
Talking about electrical water.
I think we're talking about water, right? Or I don't.
we're on.
Yeah.
Well, if the customer wants their water, then
Well, totally agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's a few people that wanted that. It's like, okay, but you gotta pay.
They should be paying for
I
that.
mean, we have to
Yeah.
move it because of placement of our infrastructure or whatever. Or we change something, and that would be on us anyway.
Yeah. But it does say in these, right?
Service.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same
so it's-
language in ordinance 65 and 70, so for water meters, electric meters.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I imagine it doesn't happen very often. There's two people that are against
Yeah.
this too.
It does, it's happened for what the customers want. Hasn't really been happening for what the district needs. That's usually done in the initial build. Like in the initial. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is more for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is if they want to move.
Let's say I didn't have any choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we at? Any questions?
And we're on ordinance 72 for clarification.
Correct. Ordinance 72. And we did public comment already?
Yes.
All right, let's get a motion going.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 72, hookup fees.
I will second it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, there were two hands raised online.
Then we'll hold off.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Let's-
say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me call on who's first. Hello, Pam Brenner. Pam Brenner, are you good? Go ahead.
Hi, folks. Thank you. Sorry, dog barking in the distance. I just want, sorry, 1 second. Apologies. Hey. Sorry about that one. I just want to express my opposition. I do think that at a time when RID is struggling for money, and costs are going to rise, and you've got a community clubhouse that is in need of repair, and so many other infrastructure projects that are going to need, updating and repair. I think this is a really bad move. Thank you for listening.
And then CA is what I see online. CA.
Hi, how are you?
Good, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a full-time resident. I'm neighbors to Arlen, and I've been in the Shelter Cove for about 16 years. I'm a newly licensed contractor, and I noticed that the whole economy is struggling for the changes that we're going through. And I noticed that you've dropped your rates for utility hookups to try to generate more customers. And I actually have a customer who has purchased property since, I think, 96. And he has permits drawn up and septic drawn up by Allen Baird Engineering, and they're not yet submitted to the county yet. But he and I, to the maybe just to help generate more people to desire to come to the Cove and get more customers. Was wondering if somehow a vote could be made to change the restrictions on receiving water so that septics could be put in, and maybe like an approved and installed septic has to be there and inspected and accepted by the county and the health department for a water hookup so people can build a concrete pad, come and enjoy the summer, and park their RVs on their own property, and use a septic system while they're there, and they can use it as a resort. And basically, we know that the cannabis industry is pretty much dissipated, which is good for the community, but the whole community suffers. And this would bring more work for me to install septics and pour concrete slabs and run line, and how many other people might could benefit if more people were to come and enjoy their property through the summer. More businesses would get money because they would be spending. And I just wanted to bring that to attention. And that's about it. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Is that it for public comment? All right, let's get back to this vote thing.
Okay.
Wait, that's it.
No, that's it. I'm not going to reach
So,
that.
It's okay. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 72, hookup fees.
I will second it.
Roll call.
Kristen Sanders,
Aye.
Wes Valentine, absent. Joshua Basheed. Scott Hildreth.
Aye.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye. Oh, didn't. Yeah, I think I went first, and then yeah,
Twice. I'm sorry. Mike Solori.
Aye. Motion carries, and thank you for your dedicated service.
And just for, I would like to just for clarification on this, the hookup fees and the lowering of the hookup fees was already approved at the last meeting.
Yes.
This was strictly just for the water guys, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So just clarification for the public people who did provide public comment.
All right, let's move on. Ordinance number 73, ARS for water and sewer services, second reading. Chris?
Yeah, this also is only, and I know it looks like there's a lot of changes on this with the red line.
Yes.
The only change is only substantial change is the standard water meter size. The other changes are just to update with the existing current rates. As this ordinance was last updated in 2020, and we've had 5 years of rate increases since then, so, which was attachment A. Now that is out of date. We finished our rate increases just this month, July 2025. So there are no planned rate increases at the moment. These are the current rates.
Thank you. Any board questions, comments? No? Anyone online? Okay, let's do them first.
Don Hyatt, would you like to make a comment?
Don?
You're muted.
Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so CA was referring to me, and I wanted to get in on the comment of that as well. I've been bought my property in 1996. I have a plot map. I have a septic system. Bear did my engineering. He's got the stamp on there. I have house plans, and I live out of the Coastal Commission, and I'm interested in moving forward with a septic. I did call planning, and they had said that I have to, I only can stay in a trailer there 6 months, which I don't have plans to grow cannabis. I don't have plans to, maybe put in some avocados, some citrus, kind of get that going while I can. I'm still working. Also, I think they only give you, they were saying 6 months to build, and I've built in Lake Tahoe. It took me 2 years. I do a little bit. I'm a builder. I've been a licensed contractor in California since 1990. And I'd know CA notify me that you lowered your prices. I'm willing to do a hookup. And like I say, if there's some stipulation, I know the rules were changed in 2008, right after I got my septic, and I have building plans. I got the drawings, everything ready to do, but I'm just not ready to take out a home equity credit line, I'm hoping interest rates come down. And I just want to get the ball rolling. I'm fencing my property now. And, like I have 8 lots, and I just want to, get started on one of them. So I don't know if I don't know what to do. I just want to tell you that's where my heart is. If there could be a hearing with neighbors, or, whatever your concerns are, I would, I think I've done everything I could go except get a building permit. And once I get that, I got a certain amount of time. They're telling me I got to do it. And as a builder, I would use CA as, my general contractor, and then we would be building it together. He's actually here in Nevada with me, helping me. We're both contractors. We've built a relationship, and, because he's struggling a little bit with the amount of work there, as the economy there, what I'm hearing, with the cannabis industry. So, that's not who I am, but, I would like to get water. If you want to allow me to hook up, I have plot maps and everything except the building permit and engineered plans. I have building plans. So hopefully that helps. That I think I'm the kind of guy. I was there for 4th of July too. I heard the comments. I've been listening. It was a great 4th of July. It's our 3rd one. My mom comes out there with us, we stay at the campground, but it'd be nice I kind of see other people doing that. I don't know if they got the building permit, but hopefully some kind of rules can be changed that allows someone who has a love of the Cove for 30 years to get started, and not be stipulated. I can't do anything until I get the full building permit, and whatever your conditions are, I'd be willing to do that. So, all right, thank you.
Respond to
You have your,
them. They don't say that that you have to build in 6 months. It's that you have to get an inspection every 6 months. So there's no time limit on that. So once he gets his permitted and engineered plan stamped, once he pays for that, he can get his hookups.
yep, exactly.
And the 6 months is only for permit.
Yeah, and they give extensions as well, so.
Yeah. Thank you, Arlen.
Thank you.
All right, nobody else online? If no other public comment, let's get a motion rolling.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 73, ARS for water and sewer services.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Bashir?
Aye.
Kristen Sanders?
Aye.
Jeff Eldred?
Aye.
Mike Solari?
Aye.
And Wes Bonheim, absent.
Motion carries. All right, let's move on to action item number 4. Consider update to policy 1080, grant and project management oversight policy, first reading. Chris?
Yes, so this branches off of the discussion item last board meeting with Nick regarding grant management oversight policy, 1080. Staff addressed the need to update this policy due to increasing capital project activity in the district, including infrastructure upgrades, vehicle acquisitions, and facilities improvements, among other projects. Staff also stated that the current policy did not adequately address internal fiscal planning, project approval, reserve usage, or long-term capital repayment strategies. After discussing the issue, the board recommended that staff update this policy and create a separate policy for project management. So attached to the updated policy number 1080 with track changes enabled the grant management policy. Recommendation is to changes and suggest further revisions if applicable, and then we'll bring it back next month, the August board meeting for second reading and final approval. There was a lot, just side note, I did a lot of modifying the language in this policy that seemed to be very lengthy.
It is.
I tried to clean it up, so it makes it difficult to read with all the changes.
Right.
Trying to make this a little bit clearer. Any questions?
I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you did as far as cleanup. Tesha?
No, I already had Chris address my
Okay.
my questions yesterday. And then just for the board's reference, I have asked Chris to begin creating a list of timelines on when we're supposed to be reviewing these ordinance or these policies.
Great idea.
Because a lot of times they get lost. We're supposed to be revisiting it, but we forget because we're dealing with other stuff. So I think Chris is on that now.
Perfect.
One thing also you mentioned, Tesha, that I'll review before the next second reading is the section on page 8 on file retention.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
It says RID maintains records for at least 5 years.
I thought that was a little low.
So we're going to review that, make sure that's the right retention policy.
Yeah, I felt like that was a little low just because of some of our bigger long-term projects that, and when we're dealing with grants, we want to make sure that if anything happens like 10, 15 years down the road with a project that, say, contractors messed up or something, that we have all of that data still available.
Is there guidelines in the
There
grant?
has to be a guideline on that.
How long we need to retain?
I think there's,
I would say generally most grants have stipulation in it.
Right. I would think so. Okay. Any other board comments, questions? No? Let's go to the public. No? Motion rolling then.
so this is just the first reading?
Oh, no motion, first reading.
Or is it-
Yeah, bring it back next, second reading. Okay.
But I have to say that it's something that needs to be done with all the capital improvement projects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No action. We'll move on to number 5. Action item number 5. Consider a new district policy 1081 project management policy. First reading.
Yes, so while discussing the last policy we were just discussing,
Right.
board also recommended creating this policy, project management. So this is the first draft of it. I worked closely with staff, mainly Nick, on this policy. We like it. It's a form involved, checklist for managing large projects, grant or loan funded projects. And I think after discussing with Tesha on this policy, I might work with Nick on adding in section on project manager before the second reading. There is. The project manager is specified on the form, but not really in the policy of how we manage, how a project is managed by a particular person.
Okay.
Yeah, I think or not my concern, but what I would like to see in this policy is ultimately Chris is the project manager.
Right.
However, when you bring on private community members as consultants, then I think there should be some kind of, it should be included in this policy that that's either allowed or how that's determined,
Okay.
like what their role is. Are they allowed to do project management for free? Are they allowed to, that type of a thing?
Go consult.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the district needs a little bit more protection on that or
We can look into that for
clarification.
second reading.
Yeah, especially on transparency.
Yeah.
And with transparency, yeah, I think that needs to be.
Yeah, I think it's very concerning,
Okay.
right? Because again, let's go talk about project manager, right? So is, on that standpoint, we're a union shop. So how does that play with the union? There's more to it. Is it administrative? If it's administrative, yeah, so it's an assistant to you. I need to know way more about that.
Okay. So it's first reading, so there is no action.
No.
Bring it back next month for second reading. And no other board comments, questions, public comment? No? All right, let's move on. Action item number 6. Consider candidate to serve on the CSDA board.
Yes, so 4 candidates have applied for a 2-year term of office to represent our region, Northern Network, CP, on the California Special District Association Board of Directors. Attached is all the applicable documents for those candidates. The ballot ends at 5 p.m. Friday, July 25th. We have 1 vote, and Wes Bonheim, our own Wes Bonheim, is actually one of the 4 candidates.
Hey, Wes.
The recommendation is to motion to nominate the candidate of choice, which I vote on. They've been sending me email reminders to make a vote, so I will vote when the board has decided.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious who we're going to go for.
I say I'm kind of.
But I'd like to hear some feedback from the other board members.
Yeah.
See what they're leaning.
I mean, initially I was like, it should be a no-brainer on who we're going to vote for. But then when I was looking at,
There are some extremely qualified
there
people.
are some really like Tamara Alanis, I'm not sure. That would be my first where I would like to vote. But then on the same hand, if we're looking at from a district standpoint, then I would say Wes, because although he may not have the experience as some of these other candidates, he is definitely would be, I believe, a benefit to the CSDA as well. That he would really be a benefit to have him really learn about what the special district is and how we should be operating. Our board is one of those boards that you get on and you're not quite sure. Initially, you may not be quite sure like how we're supposed to be operating. We're very unique, and so to have one of our own board members in that capacity and getting that training, and not just that training, but being able to give input on, and have have a place at the table, I think is really important. So
I think supporting Wes is a huge benefit to the district, period.
So I would say Wes.
No.
Well, and I'm going to say on Wes's side, his background is pretty impressive when it comes to the veteran relations. And again, being a lawyer definitely doesn't hurt the situation. And I'm going to say also that, a fresh view, just because you're not haven't experienced a lot into other districts and stuff based on years. I think the common sense has a big play. And I do agree with the fact that we want our views, and having anyone that can help us is going to be better for us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we are unanimous in our thoughts and support for Wes.
This is the first time I've ever seen anybody on our board volunteer for any of these things. All the time that I've been going to these
Wow.
meetings.
That's not true. I volunteered and I did not make it.
Isn't that right?
But with that being said, no more board questions, comments on this topic. Public input, public comment? No? All right, let's see if we can get a motion to support our friend and colleague Wes.
I'll make a motion to nominate Wes Bonneheim for the CSDA Board of Directors seat.
I will second that.
Roll call.
Mike Solori,
Aye.
Session Sheen,
Aye.
Kristen Sanders,
Aye.
Jeff Hildreth,
Aye.
and Bonheim, passes.
Motion carries. All right, let's move on. We're almost done. Proposal for ordinance number 63, weed abatement property notification letter. Chris, I assume you're gonna go through this?
Yeah, I'm not really gonna read all this. This was Nick's one. I'll just kind of synopsize a little bit of what this is. You left me some notes. First of all, I want to say that the title of the ordinance, number 63, it might be a little deceiving. It's not weed abatement. It's actually an ordinance prescribing procedure for abatement of conditions constituting a public nuisance upon private property and for recovering the expense of such abatement. That's the actual title of the ordinance. And this ordinance, you can read the history, revolves around eliminating fire hazards in Shelter Cove with overgrown properties. And it's a lot of what our current USDA grant is doing right now. So right now, from Nick, the board is just approving the letter that we will send for abatement to all property owners in Shelter Cove, not the actual list of the property owners, which will have to come back for another approval at another board meeting soon. And also, Nick says the cost of the mailer is covered by the grant. So similar to the special utilities grant or special utilities tax proposal, this flyer will have to be mailed to all property owners of Shelter Cove. So
This is just the first part of this whole process.
yeah,
Getting the information out there.
And more usage for a folding machine.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so the recommendation is to discuss previous attempts at ordinance 63 and review the draft letter approving the fire chief to send a notice to Shelter Cove property owners regarding upcoming fire hazard abatement work scheduled for later this year and thinking next
Can
year.
we have that grant donate to our funding machine campaign? Funding machine?
And I have a question for you. Is there any way, I don't know if we have the time, but are we all, because of the proposition, are we already gonna be sending letters to every property owner? Can we not combine this?
No, they would be with two separate flyers, so
Okay.
Two separate topics.
we're not gonna be putting these things into envelopes, they'll just be trifolded.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one piece of paper.
Papers.
Just trying to save some costs.
Yeah.
So my question is, I think the letter looks great. So, and that's what we're here to do today is to discuss this letter and approve it. I am wondering though if there's a simpler name at some point that we could bring this back, not the letter, but the ordinance. Like,
Yeah.
that we refine the name of this ordinance to hazardous fuel reduction or something like that. What you just read was a mouthful.
Yes.
And then also what's on the agenda, the item title here, weed abatement definitely does not really, it doesn't sound professional or like what we're here to discuss.
I think what I'll do is work with Nick to actually repeal ordinance number 63 and create a new ordinance replacing it with the updated language and also the new letter, which I believe in ordinance number 63 there is an older version of a notice letter,
Right.
which this replaces, so we have to update that ordinance.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I guess my only comment would be I don't want to change around the letter, but they should put the no cost thing like at the beginning. Hey, this is a no cost service. It's like kind of buried at the very end of the second paragraph. I would just put that at the front, maybe bold it because I don't know. I go through a lot of mail and I'm like, nah.
Free to homeowners.
Yeah, like that's the thing you want them to. Who cares about everything else? Honestly, it's like that would probably be the thing that would suck me in is, a person reading it. It's just a lot of. But what?
Why would we be insured?
And that too, that's what I was thinking. Where the results in the savings on the homeowner's insurance. Yeah, I would like.
So maybe we could embolden it.
Yeah, maybe just those two things, because I see that the nuisance part, but I would just like to see, the no cost, because I can see blah, 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 okay, an abatement notice, oh, God, and then I see no cost, but that would be something I would almost want at the beginning, because really that's all we want them to know. This isn't going to cost you anything. We're going to do it for you. Initially. We'll bury all that stuff.
Well, I just think that the abatement nuisance is very threatening. And we don't want it threatening. We want to say this is a service we're providing.
Yeah, I would almost
I disagree with that because I think this is the nuisance part is going to get their attention, and then if we have it, like maybe we change it, we put that, like you said, the free and the benefits at the beginning, even though they're just, that first paragraph kind of needs to be there to say what's happening. But this is to get people's attention, and as far as threatening, that's part of what we have going on in the Cove is all the vacant lots that aren't treated, and it's been an ongoing issue for decades.
I think the language could easily be that, back to it's free, it's a service we're providing, or you will be abated.
Has a nuisance.
Has a nuisance, right? So again, it shouldn't be threatening in the beginning, but it's gonna happen.
That works.
Yeah,
One work for me.
Okay, and this is after we've already given them ample time to sign up for this program that's been going in effect for a couple years now.
I've gotten the word out.
And the word has been out in multiple platforms. And so and that's what we're here for to do right now, this is to help people follow up. Like, this is to really get their attention. At this point, we're moving on to the abatements.
We're also dealing with vacant property. And a lot of the people are long distance landowners that maybe they haven't even received that notification to sign up. So I like the approach of, yeah, you're getting this free service, but if you don't do it, you will be abated.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's in here.
Yeah, that's why I would just
That's why I'm saying change it up.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, I can see offer the carrot. I know I can imagine that the people that are getting this that are going to shut down when they see, abatement, So I would just put no cost, bold,
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then of course all this stuff is true.
Yes.
But carrot.
Headline is notice to abate a nuisance. Right, that's the purpose. That's the purpose of the letter. So if we were to take that out, then there's why
I didn't even notice that. I thought down here.
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
And this is also the future letter when they do want to.
This is the future letter after we've gone through and we've treated everybody who has signed up and who is cooperating. This is the notice to the people who are not cooperating.
Right.
And so we should bold the no cost.
Yes, bold the no cost.
Just so they know.
We need to keep that
free.
Yeah.
I know that Nick and the Shelter Cove Fire worked with the Trees Foundation on this letter, so I can bring these suggestions to them.
Yeah, bring it to Nick and say, hey, the board wanted to know if you could embolden that phrase.
My only concern with that is if we don't approve this letter, is that going to change the notice date of September 1st, 2025? If they have to bring it back next month, it's not gonna give the district staff very much time to get this notice out to everybody by the.
We're not changing the letter, they're just emboldening the print.
Okay, so we're gonna approve.
We can approve it.
Yeah, with changes. Okay. Thank you, John.
Okay, no other board comment, questions about this?
No.
Let's get a motion roll.
Public comment.
Well, public comment. Arlen?
Public comment.
Mark? No? All right, get a motion.
I would like to make a motion to approve the ordinance number 63 letter with changes.
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Sanders.
Aye.
Mike Bonine passes. Jeff Silver.
Aye.
Joshua Bashin.
Aye.
Mike Story.
Aye. Motion carries. And last but not least, action item number 8, Consider a letter to the Board of Supervisors regarding County Measure O spending plans. Our displeasure with the outcome, and I knew this was coming when I moved out the gate. So, yes, I'm all for it. I like the letter. I think it's well written, but I'd like to hear from the rest of the board.
Yeah.
Chris, want to explain it?
Yeah, I'll just provide the background.
Yeah.
Last month's meeting, the board discussed the measure of spending plans that were released on the improvements to county roads from the measure of revenue. The board and staff expressed dissatisfaction with the proposed plan since there are no projects slated for Shelter Cove. The board recommended that staff draft a letter for the county that the board can sign, expressing the district's concern that no measure of funds are planned for Shelter Cove. I do want to emphasize that the plans that were released were just a good one. So potentially we have other plans, or the county plans to fund Shelter Cove in other years, but it was not highlighted at all for year one. That's what Arlen said in the public comment period. So the motion is to direct staff to send the letter to the county board of supervisors. Are there any suggestions or changes?
I think it's well written.
I'm gonna say, I guess my one comment would be is the amount of taxes that we provide and we're getting nothing in return.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You go back to, being that tourist destination that was approved to do these short-term rentals, and the amount of money that they are charged on the Airbnbs that are given up, and you have to go through the gauntlet and worry that you're gonna make it down the Cove Road just to get here and not kill yourself. I mean, again, I think if I were to add anything, it would be the amount of taxes that we provide and having nothing in return.
The letter doesn't state exactly how much we provide in taxes, but it does refer to the 3,900 lots paying county property taxes.
Yes.
So we are including that.
What's missing is the businesses.
And the bed tax too. That would be something I would like to see, is like always we know how much we're paying for the county, the lots are paying, how much the houses are paying in county taxes, and then how much the, what is it, the HLTA lodging taxes we pay, and then forget what the other, and then the business tax. It would be nice to just have those figures all the time. I mean, I think the letter's okay. I mean, we're saying we just got $1 million, so that doesn't really, that's not very sympathetic to me. Like, okay, you guys just got $1 million for your road. And then I do see that they are mowing. I don't know if they'll make it into the cove, but I did notice they were mowing the sides of the road yesterday. So that would be my only thing. I would like to see more of a letter that's like, hey, this. I would feel like it's like, hey, we are a destination, a tourism destination. We just got voted, best getaway, and like, kind of like, what are our strengths? Not like we just got $1 million. I don't know. I'm not super happy with the letter.
Well, I'm gonna say back
Hey,
on.
you could help me draft mine.
What? Oh, letter?
Well, because
Oh, yeah, because you're doing a scope of one. Okay, yeah, I would love to see it. Because, yeah, that's what I kind of think is like,
we could tag team them too.
because the county is always like, but I will say we did get the complete streets project in Garberville, which is super exciting, and I think will be good for the cove too.
I'm gonna say if we're tourism and we're a tourist destination, and our economy is now tourist based, we need to promote our roads.
And maybe we could garner some scarf support too. The president is here.
Yeah, I think all of the different entities in the cove need to be writing letters. I think from a district standpoint, we do have it in here that we are paying property taxes. We might not have all the figures in the letter. I don't know if that's. I mean, I would like to see that just in general on our.
So we just know what we're fighting for.
In our regular consent calendar, like how much we've been taking. And especially with, but I think the bed tax, like eventually I think we need to address that as well, because I'm hearing the county gets 12% of that.
Yeah.
And we're not getting any of that.
Exactly.
And so at some point, I think that is something that the district will have to also ask for, in my opinion, a cut off, but that's not what we're here today.
The letter. Yeah, and the roads.
and making sure, and I thought this was, because we don't want to, we are having our relationship with the county, building the relationship, trying to keep it, and keeping it friendly. I felt like it was to the point. It wasn't too harsh, but it also shows that we are not happy that we're not included in this first round. And that's really what the letter's
We
for
don't want to be too aggressive with them.
at the moment.
We don't want to fill up them.
At the moment, because this is the first year. But I think it does let them know that we're watching and that we're keeping an eye on how this program manifests.
We add some language that points out our attributes and why we deserve it will help our cause.
I agree with Jeff. I was just saying, I wasn't saying come at them aggressively. I was just saying state the facts. Like, to me, it's like, we just got $1 million. Like, why do they need to know that? Honestly, that has nothing to do with Measure O. Also, it's just kind of like makes it sound like we're really not asking for what we want. We want to be considered for Measure O funding, and it's because we what we give back to Humboldt County. That's all I'm saying. Is I think a lot of the words can be taken out of here, honestly, and that it could just be like more like, hey, we're super disappointed. We are like, I feel like Shelter Cove really does like have a lot to offer Humboldt County, and they do know that, and that's all it's saying. It's like, hey, we're a destination for, da 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 da. I wasn't saying being aggressive, but just like if they could see some of the stats, that would be interesting. But I guess when I just see that there's $1 million grant, like that completely, Alder Point didn't get that, like there's all these other Neyland and.
I think that where the staff was coming from that is that we're showing them what we are working with them, and we are doing our due diligence to help maintain and take care of infrastructure that's not even ours. Like we just maintained the road all the way to Redway. So so to let them know, look, we just did this for you. Like we're being we're adding to the value of Humboldt County's overall infrastructure, and so we by that figure actually shows them how much we're adding to. So
yeah, but then it's like
in our budget asphalt paid for a couple of years. We were putting in $30,000 or $40,000 to buy the asphalt for them to get initiative to come out here and use the asphalt with their machine.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's always been, that's always been the relationship. The redheaded stepchild.
Yep.
What does $1 million buy today? Not a tank.
Yeah.
So, as an initial letter, this is great. We know we're not slotted for any type of work out here. We could send this letter off and then send another one next year prior to their planning for what they're going to use their money for. Maybe and be a little bit more, not aggressive, but a little bit more assertive in our verbiage on the next one, because we know we're not going to get anything in this next year, but this just puts them on notice. We're aware, and we're not happy with it.
And back to what you just said, Mike, there's no question about the fact that no matter how you structure the letter, the funding's already done. So we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot.
Right. Is anybody going to
well,
go
then
there and read this?
And for the follow-up letter, if we for next when they're looking at it for the second year, it would also give staff time to gather all that information and include that in that letter.
I agree. I'm just thinking, like, if we're already missing out on the funds, then what's the rush? Like, why can't we have a nice letter? Or I don't know. From my point of view, is like, why can't we have a letter that actually just says, why it would be valuable for them to invest in the road to Shelter Cove. That's all I'm saying. It's like, that's just my point.
I like the letter that's saying, look, we're doing our part and then some. We would like to see a portion of these funds come our way.
And that's what this
we
letter
are tax-paying people, and we want a cut of it. And that's what this letter says. And for a first letter, considering the initial and the secondary repairs that they're going to do don't involve Shelter Cove. So I say for 2 years, we're not going to see anything. But at least by sending that letter, we're putting them on notice. And then we should, like Arlen had brought up, maybe we should go and make a presence known at their meetings and say, hey, listen, we want to measure.
I think that they're just going to get a letter and that's going to influence them.
So, I mean, we got a lot to think about, but I think an initial letter like this one, that's very well written, just lets them know they're on notice. We're watching and we're doing our part. You should do yours. And then if we show up at the meetings as well and start to beat our drum, maybe we'll get some action in the next few years.
And that also means that the board needs to be proactive and pay attention to the Humboldt County Supervisor's agenda so that we know, because they're not telling us when they're doing this. So making sure that that's.
Well, I think the letter has to be addressed now because we just received notification we're not getting it.
So.
Staff thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of like what Mike was saying as far as like this being an initial, just sort of letting them know that we're not just going to ignore the spending plan that was released, and that they are aware that Shelter Cove is on the map.
We got to watch their agendas, like Tisha said, and make a presence known up there.
I think everything that you've said, Tristan, is all things that the district and information that the district should know and have. And so I think that that would be a great topic of discussion for a future board member as far as like where our tax money is going in Humboldt County, how much we're receiving back.
That's exactly what their selling point was.
And
too,
yep.
That they're transparency because it's a general fund. It's not
public comment.
I also want to add that I worked with Nick and Jessica on this letter. Nick approved it because I know Nick was very instrumental in the passing of the measure. So he advocated, campaigned in the county.
I did too, and I felt, and I'm not a big tax person, so it was a big leap for me to say, yeah, let's do this.
Agreed.
But really, all the information that you're stating, we should have all those numbers anyway. And so I would like to bring that back to the board at some point in the near future, like finding out how much property taxes we're paying, how much we're receiving back, how much bed, like you said, the bed tax, how much that the county receives from Shelter Cove, and then also potentially looking at like the business tax, except because we should have all of that, I think, in our data anyway. I don't know that it all needs to go right here in this first initial letter. That's all I'm saying.
So to stay on topic, we're talking about this letter.
Yes.
Do we agree with this letter or do we disagree with this letter and kick the can down the road?
I'm going to say I'm willing to sign this letter.
You're what?
I'm willing to sign this letter.
You are? Okay. I am as well. Okay.
I mean, okay, yeah.
All right. So let's get a motion rocking and rolling.
No,
public comment again.
I
Arlen?
said enough.
Okay. Thank you for that.
but not on the record. Okay.
All right. Let's get a motion.
I will make a motion to direct staff to send a letter, to send this letter to the County Board of Supervisors.
Second.
I will second that.
Roll call.
Kristen Sanders.
Aye.
Jeff Holbert.
Aye.
Beth Online, absent. Joshua Bashir. Aye. Mike Story.
Aye. Motion carries. That's the last one. All right, moving on. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that we need to discuss? Looks like we'll just have the public has unfinished business. Mr. Reed,
Yes.
please
on our
keep it
last
brief. We're at the
meeting
end.
was about Verizon adding 21 feet to the existing tower. I did do research on that, and I just did cell phone towers, Humboldt County ordinance, and I found 2 spots. I did print them up, and I forgot to bring them. 50 foot is the limit,
Oh, wow.
and with a 3 cubic yard of space on that 50-foot tower. So
Can you forward that to Chris?
I'm
Okay.
sorry I didn't get it to you, and my life
Perfect.
is gone. I blame that.
And also for the board and public's knowledge, I've been corresponding with Verizon regarding that 20-foot extension, and they are going to, there will be an action item at the next month's board meeting where Verizon will present their proposal for the board's approval. So that will be a subject next month.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that the last board put a 75-foot height limit on that.
Yes, there was a
On
motion.
that tower,
from
yeah.
the
So we,
board.
we all know that, and then, so we're just gonna ignore the past boards and then
No, we're
exceed
gonna,
that limit.
sorry. We're gonna acknowledge that and allow the board to either stay with that rule or modify it.
Okay, and then I'll put in some more information about the effects of towers.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally on people.
Yeah.
You know, we already had somebody shoot the tower, shoot a deputy. It's not looking good around that neighborhood, and I'm about that close.
No.
Thank you, Arlen. Please forward all that information to Chris. Please do. We would like to see that too before the next meeting. All right. With that being said, anybody else? Anything unfinished business? No? Meeting adjourned, 11:22. Thank you for coming.
11:22.